0 is very good.
Yes.
That's 0 losses,
Yes.
which means he's undefeated.
Yes. And he
Who
has
will
4
be-
wins.
Who will be the first person to defeat Catz?
I don't know. Like, he could literally build up like a 20 win streak and no one could beat him in Heart of the Storm. He's looking
Just
really good.
16 more.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a new game, essentially. And it's a testament to, I guess, his ability to, you know, use the tools given to him in a new situation and then apply them to StarCraft 2.
He's a very creative fellow.
Yes, I mean,
One thing he's played in all the free-for-alls and the 2v2v2s, and we've seen he likes to use the Vipers a lot.
he does.
But I haven't seen him use them very often in his 1v1s.
Hmm,
So
that's true.
maybe it's something he only likes late game and he just hasn't gotten the chance to get to that late game yet. I don't know.
Yeah. He's been using a lot of interesting strategies. I mean, last week we saw 4 hatches, which is like his standard against Protoss, and was actually doing really well. I mean, of course, he went 4. He hasn't lost yet. And he has a lot of experience in Heart of the Storm, so we'll have to see if anyone can dethrone him. First up, it's going to be QXC from Team Complexity. Now, QXC, he's another one of those innovative players. He's a very creative guy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him being able to take out Catz here.
Exactly. I mean, QXC is a guy we see him do the Thor rushes against Protoss, proxy factory builds against Zerg. I mean, we can see all the crazy builds that he does in Wings of Liberty that you never thought were possible. Now, what's going to happen when you give him all of a sudden these new tools? You know, Medivacs with that Ignite Afterburners ability?
Yes.
That is going to be scary in the hands of QXC.
Yeah, QXC, of course, that's pretty much what he's known for, honestly. Like, it has been known for throughout the life of Wings of Liberty, just his excessive drop play and how abusive he is with his mobile army. And now we'll have to see how he can transition that into Heart of the Swarm, of course, with the Ignite Afterburners ability. Takes a little bit to get to. Oh, no, actually, that's free, but I'm talking about the upgrade that you can get to...
Lucius Reactor.
Yes, to let the Medivacs heal even faster. So that should be interesting. Also, we're only a couple days after a patch that just hit that brought a lot of new, interesting, and exciting changes to the game. And now we'll have to see, you know, what ends up happening as far as their strategies. How much have these guys changed their strategies based on this patch that hit a couple days ago? But here we are in the game. QXC versus Catz. Catz is on a 4-game winning streak. He is 1 game away from a 5-game winning streak. And 5-game winning streak is special because you get a $50 prize. So we'll have to see if he can make that happen. Of course, any streak alone in an MLG King of the Hill is going to be very impressive indeed. But here is his challenger in the bottom left-hand location from Team Complexity. He's the blue Terran player QXC, and his opponent in the top right, he is the defending champion. He is the current King of the Hill, the red Zerg player, Catz. Map is going to be Cloud Kingdom.
So I'm trying to think of, you know, the new patch made a lot of big changes. Which of the changes are going to affect TVZ the most is kind of what's going through my head. And I'm thinking their ability to get Reapers very easily out of reactors and scout so well with them. I think if a Terran chooses to go bioplay, I think we're definitely going to see like mid-game Reapers just checking on expansions, corner expansions, harassing them a little bit. Of course, they're not very good at harassing more because they don't do the extra to light. But they're so much more easier to produce, probably a little more useful as a general scout to keep tabs on the map. So might see a few more of those in the mid-game. Probably won't see Terrans rush up for that Medivac upgrade like they used to because it isn't quite as strong as it used to be. I'm not really sure where the Hellbat change comes into play in TVZ.
Wow, the command center is not able to be placed down here from QXC, and Catz is making fun of QXC. He's pulling off 5 SCVs to deal with this one singular drone, and that's going to delay that command center for a good 15 to 20 seconds, which is actually fairly significant at this point in time. QXC is not happy about this, and Catz is enjoying himself quite a bit. QXC thrown off by that drone scout from Catz.
He really was. I mean, 4 or 5 SCVs, I think most consider that somewhat of an overreaction. You can almost feel the frustration in him when that drone comes in. It really disrupts his early game plans.
And like back to your comments about the Reaper and the change, like I've been thinking about that a lot. And obviously, you know, there's the cost of actually getting the Reaper out. It's 50 gas. It's 50 gas, right?
It is 50 minerals and 50 gas.
So like, it seems really weak now too. I mean, it's not going to kill any workers, I don't think. I think it takes 5 shots now from a Reaper to kill a worker.
Yeah, it's I mean, well, probably even yeah, 5 or actually 6 against Zerg because they'll regenerate. 6 versus Zerg or Terran, 5 versus Protoss.
So like when I've just been thinking about that, and like 50 gas, while it doesn't seem like a lot in the early part of a game, I feel like it can be a lot. So that said, I mean, I'm really interested to see how Terran players are going to actually utilize the Reaper early on in the game. You know, when they're going to actually consider it worth it to get that out. And the thing is, QXE, he's pretty much known for his Reaper play. Like, that, I mean, I keep saying he's known for stuff, but he does a lot of crazy stuff. Like late game, not surprising to see him go for those late game Reapers. Now, again, I don't know how viable that will be with the new Reaper, but just some interesting things to think about.
Yeah, I actually feel like the changes, even though you can get the Reapers earlier, they made early game Reapers much weaker. Because, like you said, that 50 gas is such a big hit to the Terran player to lose that early. I think it's more something we might see mid-game. If a Terran player is going bio, they'll have a little bit extra gas. Throwing 1 or 2 mid-game to keep tabs on the corner bases, things like that, we may see this a little bit. But overall, I don't think it'll be used a super amount. Just, you know, maybe some mid-game scouting to save scans. Sneaking in there to see the greater Spire timing, something like that.
Wow, and now the players are actually talking about what we were just talking about, the Reaper, QXC. Well, interestingly enough, Catz went for a 14 pull here and then followed it up with the hatchery. So that implies either A, he wants to get the queen out a little bit faster, or B, he's, you know, relatively scared of potential early aggression from QXC. And Catz pretty much said that's what he was doing there, because he just said the Reapers are pretty good. So that makes me think that's why he got that spawning pull, because he was afraid of that Reaper threat. So maybe he has run into that in the 1v1 ladder.
If you think about it, compare the power of like a bunker rush with early Reapers, because the Reapers started to speed upgrade. So normally you can kind of zone them off with workers, but with the new speed upgrade, workers are basically useless against him. And they can cross the map so fast and get in the bunker very fast. I could see a Reaper bunker rush actually being pretty scary to try to hold off if you go for the hatch first.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I mean, of course, if you can get out that queen relatively early, that you know, it essentially shuts down the Reaper play. No queen is going to kill a Reaper. And we see a Hellion sneaking by here into the main base of Catz, seeing an opening and going for it. No spine crawler in place for Catz. Going to see the layer in progress on 2 bases and seeing all the gas is saturated. So a good amount of information here obtained from QXC. Also saw the spawning pools sparkling, so knowing that speed is well underway. So pretty interesting tactics here so far from both these players, just trying to feel each other out. Oh no, we actually have some Hellions going after drones in the natural of Catz, and this is a huge problem. So many drones falling here for Catz. 11 workers killed for QXC, and he's not done. Up to 12 workers killed. No spine there from Catz, only 2 queens. Up to 3 there at his natural expansion. Not going to be enough to prevent those Hellions from doing a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, you're mentioning how QT is known for his aggressive play with Reapers, Medivacs, or Hellions. He may have made his Reapers weaker, but you know what? The Hellions are still just as good as they used to be, and he's using them to their maximum effect right now.
Great play here from QXC as this game enters the 8:30 mark. A Banshee now here, going to be accompanying these Hellions across the field. Catz trying to form a little bit of a wall off, a little bit of a choke point at his natural expansion, adding on 2 evolution chambers. Spotted the Banshee, immediately beginning an overseer just in case the cloak is in effect. Now, the Banshee, where is he going? Looks like just positioning himself outside the natural, trying to draw the queens out there, and now going to take a chance and go into the main phase, doing some damage to an extractor. That's not going to do too much whatsoever. Now targeting down a queen. Keep in mind, this Banshee does not have cloak, but QXC doesn't want to lose this at this point in the game. Going to try to pursue that queen to the main, and the queen's going to slow down once it gets off creep. Oh, great transfuse there from Catz, and QXC's Banshee's going to remain alive and get a couple drone kills here.
Not a bad follow press by QXC. The Hellions are still positioned to deny creep spread, but Catz is going to return to favor a little bit. The bunker is untouchable, but there's only a single Marine there, so the Zerglings aren't actually too worried about that.
Yeah, and now these supply depots are actually a little bit vulnerable. Not much here to defend here for QXC, so supply depot might fall. QXC might feel it's worth it to bring an SCV out once the Hellions get out to try to repair that depot, but no, it looks like it is going to fall, so nice little run by here from Catz. Meanwhile, we have Hellions and Banshees going straight into the natural expansion of Catz. Is he vulnerable? It looks like it. Only 2 queens here, a 3rd queen coming in from the natural expansion, 1 queen going down, 2 queens going down. QXC, oh, actually, that queen's gets out of there with only about 5 HP. Transfuse going down on another queen here, but now these drones are vulnerable. Catz has 5 infestors in production, but can those get out in time to defend all these drones?
Infestors try to hurry to safety, and it looks like he'll clean this up, but those Hellions have done such an amazing job at killing these drones. I mean, how would it safety 32 from 12, so it's 20 more drones. Actually, he was at more like 15, 16. Oh, that one Hellion is still going to work. Man, Catz's workers are just taking an absolutely brutal beating here.
Catz down to 36 Harvesters. Keep in mind, guys, Catz is on a 4-game winning streak. He's 1 win away from taking home a $50 prize and extending his streak to 5. QXC trying to spoil that from happening and doing very well so far, of 87 to 69 in that supply count. But here come burrowed infestors from Catz. If there's a way back into this game, this is it. Keep in mind, they don't have a lot of energy, so they're going to be waiting a little bit before they start doing their damage, and they're not going to be able to be used on the defensive side of things. So we'll have to see if QXC decides to push out anytime soon. If he does, I feel like Catz can be very vulnerable.
He definitely could be. Only 2 infestors back to defend. Losing all the queens also has meant that Catz has been unable to produce the drones or zerglings that he really wanted to recover from that attack. I think he's lost 2 to 3, probably about 2 different cycles of larva injects, and that's a tremendous blow to his Zerg player.
Gosh, Catz is going to be up against a wall here. QXC again with about a 30 supply lead at this point in time, extending across the map with a couple medevacs, plenty of Marines, and 2 Hellions. Meanwhile, the infestors biding their time, waiting for that energy. They're going to be used a little bit later, but oh my gosh, QXC is actually getting turrets on the field. Where'd those 2 infestors go in the main?
I don't quite see them. They're hidden somewhere.
Oh
wait, they're inside the worker line. They're literally.
Oh,
right.
they can be seen it. QXC sees it. He's actually attacking the infestors. Oh no, the SCV is actually attacking the infestors, and Catz is going to lose a couple for free.
But meanwhile, great bungles.
QXC engaging into the third base of Catz. Catz has roaches and infestors here to defend, so he should have enough. Of course, the improved fungal growth showing how strong it is. Wasn't there a little bit of a nerf on the...
There was. It does less damage to armored units than it used to. So against pure Marines, it doesn't make a difference, but it does mean that it's hard to kill medevacs. We can see right there that medevac is surviving
1 HP.
the situation where it normally wouldn't have, of course. This game didn't play too much of a role as the medevac was taken out shortly after. Well, actually it did. We can see Catz felt compelled to throw down 4 more infested Terrans. Yeah. So in effect, that change basically cost Catz 100 extra energy.
Catz might now be wondering where his 2 infestors went in his opponent's main middle line. Sees the turret is there, or could probably guess that a turret was placed down. And look at this, QXC making another turret in his natural. These infestors are very vulnerable.
They're on a timer, and they can't even escape out the front door because there's another turret there. Perhaps they could try to run by into the main... no, they would go in range of the turret in any case. Oh, Catz is trying to distract with the roaches at the third. When QXC's army moves out of position, this is his opportunity to do massive damage with infestors. But wait, they're not...
Oh, no.
They're just staying there. They're not moving.
No, and QXC sees them with the turret, so... As you said, there's a timer. Okay, there are the infested Terrans going down. Fungal going on the SCVs. Oh, more Fungals going down. Wow. QXC, that actually could have been a lot worse for him. And 3 infestors going down. There goes another Fungal onto the SCVs. Catz trying to get as much money back as possible.
The doors are closed, though. The infestor's trying to tap on a door, but it's not going to lower for it.
Not bad.
Right at that time.
24 workers killed there.
A great attempt at getting back in the game. He's continuing to upgrade the roaches, which is interesting. I wonder if he plans on going roaches throughout the game. But if that's the case, why is it... Oh, going Roach Hydra.
Oh, no. QXC might snipe the infestation pit. In fact, I think he's going to. About 7 Marines dropped there underneath that medevac. The infestation pit is going to go down. Great pickoff there from QXC. Catz should be immediately remaking that sometime soon. Meanwhile, we also have a drop in the top middle that Catz is worrying about, throwing down some infested Terrans to deal with that. But this natural expansion is actually pretty vulnerable. Targeting down the hatchery is QXC, and Catz doesn't have enough to deal with this.
Meanwhile, QXC showing off his multitasking, using that Ignite Afterburners on a drop in the third to scurry it away from those infestors just in time. We can now navigate into the main and continue to do damage from multiple fronts all at the same time.
At the same time, here comes the main army of QXC right towards the third base. Catz is getting spread out absolutely everywhere. QXC showing his amazing multitasking skill in this game, preemptively splitting those Marines even. Of course, potentially dodging those fungal growths, but here come the infestors from Catz. One gets killed for free. Catz is spread out too much.
Look at the hunks of Zerg gore that gets blown up by the siege tanks. Flying everywhere. Wow, this game is cool and hard.
Catz is just going to straight up counterattack. The third is going to fall. The main base drop has finally been dealt with. And QXC doesn't have enough back home to defend. Already has siege mode, or siege tanks on the field. Siege mode is now free. And QXC going to be willing to sacrifice some SCVs here, realizing if he holds this push, he will win this game and ends Catz's 4-game winning streak. And, of course, move on to face a challenger. Catz trying to make it work, but I think QXC has way too much. Up 177 to 82 supply. Took out his opponent's third base. His opponent is only at 48 drones to his 61 SCVs. And Katz's final army is not going to be able to work. There's the GG from Catz. QXC secures victory and takes out Catz. Great game there from QXC.
A really great game. You know, I think it was earlier in the King of the Hill, people were saying Terran wasn't doing so in Heart of the Swarm, but QXC seemed so absolutely dominant in that game. One of the key things there, he did use the Ignite Afterburner spell several times that game to make those drops so much more effective. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, and why wouldn't you? I mean, it comes with your medevac, which is nice. And interestingly enough, we didn't see a lot of Heart of the Swarm units, actually from either player. Now that I'm thinking back. As that was typical Wings Liberty strategy, it seemed like.
It was.
Except for the Ignite Afterburners.
It was. It's basically like a TVZ, except Terran got better because the siege tanks in siege mode for free.
And then
the medevacs are faster. I mean, I guess those are the two only really big changes there.
Yeah.
And then from the Zerg side, the medevac speed actually helps even more than you think it would because you can use it to dodge the fungal growths.
Yeah.
Because the fungal growths are not projectiles. So the typical Zerg versus Terran, in faster-based strategy may have to have a second look at it in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, interesting stuff here we're watching in this Heart of the Swarm King of the Hill. Guys, we're not even close to being done. We got 2 hours of King of the Hill today in this Heart of the Swarm StarCraft 2 Exhibition Series here from MLG. Stay tuned. Coming up next, it's going to be QXC versus his challenger. Don't go anywhere.